doesn't matter that we do have supportive husbands, because some
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very warm welcome to everybody joining us today. I am Shahana Mia. I am the anchor for the Ladies Terrace for the Academia Library, and today I'm really excited. We have two very innovative entrepreneurs with me. I'd just like to welcome them both. Fatima Khan Wise from the First Lady Chamber, welcome, and Shafika Munda from Pop Warehouse.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, salam wa rahmatullah. Really lovely to have you both, and thank you for accepting the invitation. The discussion that we had just before we started really made me feel, okay, this is going to be good. It's going to be a nice chat, so you can just relax, just take a deep breath, enjoy this conversation that we are having today. I think for me, the reason why Boss Babe, a discussion with female entrepreneurs, just seemed like the right thing to do was because there's a lot of talk out there. We are in a culture now where women entrepreneurs are flourishing. Women are determining their own salary. They are looking into how to balance their own energies, their family life, as well as their professional or business life. So why not have a conversation about that with people who have been in the field, who are encouraging others to get into this field, but also who are looking at the fears behind it, the successes behind it. And our two guests here, I think, really are going to inspire us give us some perspective on the know-how, the what to do, what not to do, because they are both very, very successful in the arenas. And really, really, I truly mean it. I'm here to learn from the two of you, alhamdulillah. So just to start off with Fatima Khan Wise, you know, the culture today is about women entrepreneurs. And I found your little CV very fascinating. You're a graphic designer and a photographer. That's the profession. But then you've got a life coaching certification, and you are also a honors candidate, as well as a mother with 3 children, and a really young one. I think your baby's a year.
Oh.
Alhamdulillah. Now, beyond the design world, you've done quite a few things. You are the secretary and trustee of the esteemed Judge Isa and Fatima Musa Foundation. Fatima is the founder and chairperson of the Sharing Hope Foundation, and this is rooted in uplifting communities to create opportunities for those who are in need. But today she's here with us as the co-founder and managing director of the First Lady Chamber. And we'll have a video to introduce that, and then we'll have a chat from there.
Our vision is to assist women-owned, led and managed businesses that require startup and sustainable assistance and advice.
Our mission is to cultivate a vibrant community that supports, guides and strengthens the development of women-owned businesses for empowerment, networking and business sustainability.
This year, through the guidance of First Lady Chamber, has been absolutely phenomenal. I went from being a home-based business to opening my first pop-up store in Kenilworth Centre to now this week negotiating for a permanent lease. So I'm really so grateful for First Lady Chamber for instilling the confidence and business skills in me to make it happen.
Joining First Ladies Chamber, just doing the first incubation, which was marketing, changed everything. It made me understand what I was actually doing. It made me realize that I was building a brand, that I had something solid that I could work on. And now I'm very excited for where I can take Whimsy as a brand.
It's clear Fatima has a vision, and she's dedicated to empowering women. I think I like the fact that you are putting in your efforts and energies to really, really just encourage women to bring about what is best for them. So Fatima, you know, your entrepreneurial spirit, your expertise is shown in the fact that you've encountered and you've encouraged other people to be able to bring that forward by the mentors that you are having in your First Lady Chamber. Perhaps maybe start by telling us how long it's been running for and what made you start that.
So I don't have the exact number. It feels like a blur, but I think we started FLC 7 years ago, around about 7 years ago.
Wow.
It's been a really long time. What feels like a long time. The kid is about going to school now.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a good.
You started as your children were born. That was as your first one was born.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm likening the business to
I
a
see.
kid who's starting school now. And we didn't at that time have developed our program, but it started off with us having events to empower women that came together and to showcase the work on our platform.
Okay.
And then it was 1 year where we had a Women's Day event, and then one of our speakers said, but you kind of have something here. What are you actually doing with it? You know, and it got my sister and I, who started FLC, thinking. We are women ourselves. We are business women ourselves, and we understand intimately the challenges that we face ourselves, you know, within the business space. And so, how do we formulate a program in which we could learn the things we needed to learn in order for our businesses to thrive? And that's how my sister and I sat together and we developed the program and launched a soft launch and invited ladies to join our membership, and the year after that, that's it.
So exciting, lovely. So it's a family-run business.
Well, my sister's now concentrating on her own business.
Okay.
So not anymore.
Okay.
So not anymore.
It's a you-run business now.
And Shafika's got a you-run business, right?
Yes.
I like the fact that you brought in likening it to a baby, because really that's what it is, you know.
Yes.
Anything that we start off with. Shafika's business is in operation for 25 years this year. Alhamdulillah. And I think that's it. You have the vision, the idea, and then you nurture this child.
Yes.
And you've got to nurture and invest in it. And investment comes in the form of expertise, of resources, of mentoring and networking, and then your hard sweat and your energy that way.
You know, you can never underestimate the difficulties that you go through as you progress through the different stages of your business. So your baby starting school, my baby went through the teenage years, which was incredibly tough, and then the university years, which was during COVID. It was extremely hard and difficult, and you must never underestimate that. And you know, I make dua every single day. Every day I ask Allah for a sustainable business, for a business where we are treating the people that we engage with integrity and honesty. And where we treat our staff with integrity and honesty as well, because really we don't do it alone. You will attest to that. We don't do it alone. We do it with the support of everyone around us.
That's lovely. So let us go into Shafika's profile and then her video as well, because I think that will give us some perspective. So you were a graduate of UCT, you worked for Unilever South Africa, and you're the CEO of 4 operating businesses. Pop Warehouse, Pop Logistics, Pop Properties, and Pop Recycling. Shafika serves as a trustee on the Leaf Capital Empowerment Trust. You're a member of the board at Claremont Main Road Mosque. She's a very proud, happy 50-year-old. Completed Hajj, married, has 3 children. And then you're a marathon runner, you're a tennis player, and you're an avid pickleball player. Really interesting. We'd love to hear more, but I think let's go into your video on Pop Warehouse, because then we can hear about the story behind that as well.
Are you looking for a partner that is able to manage and deliver your point of purchase material? Look no further. Pop Warehouse is an empowering supplier with a triple BEE Level 1 accreditation, 51% Black female owned, and provides a full outbound solution for the management of point of purchase material. Backed by our proven track record of over 21 years, we live by the mantra, on time, in full, and attribute our success to our end-to-end business ethos and excellent people. Pop Warehouse is their first choice for POS management in South Africa, as we incorporate warehousing, logistics, and the seamless delivery of retail installations, including event logistics, as well as the sourcing and management of promotional material and giveaways. At Pop Warehouse, our client relationships and operational efficiencies are at the center of what we do. We offer walls, wheels, hands, and sourcing, so you have peace of mind knowing your POS warehousing and logistics is efficiently managed. Our advanced point-of-sale warehouse management system enables us to harness technology across the full supply chain and deliver bespoke solutions for our clients. Further to this, our Pop Logistics infrastructure comprises of a strategically tailored vehicle mix, which ensures our clients' speed to trade and return on investment in Pop. by delivering directly to merchandisers in-store throughout South Africa and neighboring countries. With a network of 14 established warehouses, we are trusted by several multinationals and blue-chip clients to ensure the guardianship of their point of sale. So, why not take the next step in growing your brand reach?
Okay, so that was Pop Warehouse. Shafika, I love the fact that you found a gap in the marketplace and you validated the service and the product, and you've built it to a very, very wonderful success. Tell us why you started that. What drove you and inspired you to start Pop Warehouse?
After completing my degree at UCT, I was recruited into Unilever. And at Unilever, I worked on different types of products. So they are a company that sells products like Skip and Omo and Handy Andy. But they were based in Durban. And I had a deep desire to return home to my family. It was very difficult for me. I was young, I was a graduate, and I needed to be back home. So part of that motivation was to return home. But also, it was also part of my innate belief that Allah gave me these gifts of drive and perseverance and sabr to be able to make things better for others as well and to contribute positively to society. So part of my drive really, and I call it my why power, and the reason why I get out of bed in the morning is to contribute positively to society, to create employment. And this was part of the reason why I co-founded this business called Pop Warehouse. It's very difficult to understand exactly what we do, and I will attempt to explain it really simply. Yes, okay.
That helped me a lot.
So our business is a national business. We have warehouses all around South Africa. And what we do is we hold on to marketing materials. So anything tangible. So when you're walking into a Pick n Pay, as an example, and you see a Lindt chocolate bunny up for Easter, we hold on to all the promotional material in our warehouses around South Africa. And then when the promotion happens, it goes onto our vehicles, onto our trucks, and it gets distributed to the Pick n Pays and the ShopRite Checkers of the world. And then you as a consumer, you walk into the store and you see, oh, I see Lindt chocolate, or I see Cadbury chocolate. I'm rather going to buy the Lindt chocolate because I see there's a promotion on, and I see there's an entry form for a competition that I can fill in. So it's anything tangible, all the cardboard material that we hold onto that we then distribute to the store. It ties in with our clients above the line. So there's a line, you'd know, yes. So above the line advertising is everything related to anything on the air, on television, radio. Below the line advertising is anything related to the more tangible stuff. So cardboard and leaflets and pamphlets and so on. Social media, I think, goes through the line.
Yes. It does.
But we basically then support our clients' advertising campaigns by distributing the promotional material on time and in full directly to the stores.
I think as a consumer, you don't realize what goes
The
into
logistics behind
yes.
it. Yes, and you need women to sit behind that logistics.
Why?
Well, I think, women, so I operate in a very white male-dominated environment, and that was a very big challenge and very difficult for me to overcome, because I always was concerned about my credibility, I grew up on the Cape Flats, I went to Livingston High School, and so I didn't perhaps per se have the best education that was available at that time, and coming through apartheid, you have these preconceived ideas of your worth and who you are and the value of your contribution. And so that was very, very, very difficult to overcome. But I just had this innate belief in what I wanted to do, and I really did begin with the end in mind. My end in mind was to make life better for the people that I employ, and alhamdulillah now nationally we employ about 180 people around South Africa, and that really was my why power and my belief, and so that just pushed me forward, and also obviously with the guidance from Allah and this belief that we can make things better.
Your face lights up when you talk about it, and that's so nice. I think it's so important to have that, to have that inner desire, the intention is clear, and it's really, really just can only get better from there, alhamdulillah. So I'd like to ask Fatima. You know, we were speaking earlier on about Bibi Khadija, and the mother of all believers, in terms of just, you know, really ensuring that we as women today, in today's times, take lessons from that and be able to work into a system of being women, of being wives, of being mothers, but also being caretakers, being supporters of the men as well.
Yes.
Maybe you just want to share something with me about that.
So we should definitely take lesson from Khadija radiallahu anha, because, you know, in a time when women were also being herded like cattle and being inherited and abused, you know, she was really a pioneer in that space, and to be the partner to such an influential man at the same time and still hold space on her own is quite an incredible feat, you know. Absolutely. And so in that respect, for us women to have such an example, it's incredibly motivating.
Alhamdulillah. So we are created as women to be nurturers,
Yes.
you know, for our families, for our communities, but we also have the other side. And I think it's so beautiful to have that balance, to find the symmetry within that.
Absolutely.
And you are showing us, both of you from First Ladies Chamber, in terms of encouraging, empowering women, bringing them up, or the ones that are already in business and ensuring that they now can become more profitable and enhancing their skills. And then Shafiqa, your business in terms of giving us a perspective of where you started, where the gap was, breaking in the glass ceiling of a male-dominated society, and then being a successful homemaker as well in that. Alhamdulillah for that.
I wasn't always a successful
Sounds like that. So, okay, so tell us some of the challenges you've experienced.
So I think that for me, getting into a good routine was very important. And alhamdulillah, I think our religion allows us so many aspects of that, you know. We have to be routined in our salah and the things that we do. And I think that sort of gave me already a little bit of discipline to get there. So I think getting into a good routine and also forcing the time. So there were times when the business had to suffer, and then there were times when the family does suffer. But I made very simple rules in terms of running our home. I always made sure that we would make our Maghrib Salah together as a family. My grandfather always used to say, family that prays together stays together. And so I made that a rule, and I always made sure that we had our supper together. No matter what we were doing, we'd have to break from that and come and sit down and have dinner together. And it is really at the dinner table that we would start to talk about our challenges, or start to talk just practically about our day the next day, and where we could balance and help one another and support each other. And that made a big difference in terms of managing my career, because I'm married to a doctor, and his career is also on a steep trajectory. My career is also on a steep trajectory, and we didn't want the children to suffer in any way, to be compromised in any way along with that. So that routine becomes very important, and there are going to be things along the way that you're going to have to compromise on, and that your partner will compromise, and that the children will also compromise on. You know.
Yes. So that becomes family-based.
Absolutely.
And that balance, the grounding is important. And I like the fact that you say routine gives stability, it gives security, it gives structure to everybody in the home. And alhamdulillah, that creates, you know, that's the success behind it all that way.
Yeah, and you know, to be fluid in to know that this can't work right now. And I need to have that tawakkul in Allah and that the higher belief, because in everything that we do, there must be that higher belief, you know, and that should be our guiding star.
Alhamdulillah, lovely.
Sometimes my children call me forget mommy.
Why?
Because there are things that I forget, and I
So
think, you know, as women, we mustn't be hard on ourselves about that. It's okay.
Absolutely.
To not have, like you say, to keep it fluid, and for things not to run as
100%,
perfect.
yeah.
Because we put so much pressure on ourselves about that perfection.
Yeah. And there will be times when something overpowers or demands more of your energy and
Yes.
time.
And that's
Yeah.
fine.
You know, yeah.
Yes.
So Fatima, in First Lady of Chamber, how do you utilize resources? How do you encourage the women to look into systems that will enable their businesses to
So the First Lady
flourish?
Chamber program, we invite members to join our program, and with our program we teach them skills that they may not necessarily need, because
Okay.
women start businesses often out of necessity
Yes.
rather than opportunity.
Okay.
And we want to change that mindset shift
Yeah.
to realize that if they see the opportunities, then they can become much better business women.
Okay.
So we teach marketing, business law, business strategy, accounting, which is very important, and public speaking. As I was telling you
Yes.
before we started, public speaking personally is something that I struggle with. And you know, as a businesswoman, or any business person, in fact, you need to be able to talk about your business.
Sure.
So with that in mind, we added that aspect to our
Right.
program.
Okay.
We also have networking events that allow peer-to-peer learning,
Okay.
you know, so that we encourage friendship and community, because women need to talk about our
Yes,
issues,
yes,
and
yeah.
you never know who in the room has insight onto your specific problem. And so we host, very often we host networking events, and I'd love you guys to come when we host our next one. And also we collaborate with like-minded organizations that, you know, believe in our mission and vision,
Okay.
and that allows us to use their resources and to create more comprehensive programs for our members.
And that's very inspiring, because I do think that women in society in general, we just don't support one another.
Absolutely.
That's
No,
a
that
big
is
It's phenomenal.
that's really something
That's
that's
very important, and I often encourage. I have daughters, and I encourage them. I say, you must support each other. Don't put each other down. There's something called the tall poppy syndrome, and tall poppy syndrome is where women, especially, as soon as you see someone being raised from the ground and high above the others, other women want to come and cut you down for whatever reason. And so I think that if there's anything that we can leave this discussion with, is that women need to support one another. There's absolutely nothing to be insecure about. And we say mashallah, and we say alhamdulillah, that Allah gives us gives other women these gifts and the ability to be able to drive and move things forward and exercise their vision.
And you know, there is an invisible web amongst women.
Yes.
And we need to take advantage of that.
Yes.
But that web needs to support,
Yes.
encourage, uplift,
Yes.
but also be there as a support and guide when we are in our lower moments.
Absolutely.
Which is part of
Absolutely.
part of being human.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So there is this drive, there's this energy, but what was your passion, your personal passion that got you to start?
So there's something in me that just lights up when I see women succeed. And so with that in mind, just last week, or two weeks ago, we hosted, so how our program works is that we teach them the business skills, and throughout the year they learn each module, and they produce a what do you call it, an assignment for the module. But at the end of the day, at the end of the year, they will have come up with a workable, comprehensive business plan. And through the year, they get to implement what they learn, and so it's a very integrative process. But our program has certain KPIs, and so therefore, a top-performing business will arise from said KPIs. And for over the years, we've had winners come out of our program.
Lovely.
And so 2 weeks ago, we hosted them at a new hotel in town, where they had set up business meeting with potential suppliers or collaborators. And we also treated them to some massaging, and it was so amazing,
nice.
and it was like the most fun I've had in such a long time.
Anyone that gets a massage will
to
have fun.
see these women
Yeah.
and how far they've come.
Also, you probably also seeing the fruits of your
Absolutely,
labor, you know, and that,
absolutely.
yeah.
And
Yes,
that's,
and that's
baby
very
that's
motivating.
graduating.
Yeah.
You know, there's this feeling of
Exactly.
complete
Yes.
warm, fuzzy,
Yes.
internal happiness
Yes.
because you've uplifted somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
think also
wonderful.
you've at a young age, because you look young, at a young age discovered your why power. And many entrepreneurs, they don't always, they're not able to clearly articulate it
Yes.
and clearly identify it. And it takes time to think about it. You have to think about why you want to start a business, who your target market is going to be, and what need you're going to fulfill.
And people
before
don't
you do.
realize that those are important things to consider.
Yes.
I guess that's where you come in as well in terms of helping them
Yes.
from the get-go. Look at all the aspects.
Yeah.
Do you employ or do you encourage other experts to come in as part of the program? How does that work?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can't be, you can be a one-woman band, but you can't actually be a one-woman band. So obviously we had to search for industry experts to teach our ladies the content. So we have a as I said, marketing, a professional lecturer and marketer that teaches our women the skills. We have a MBA business strategist that teaches them business strategy. We have a CA that teaches them accounting, you know, and we have a commerce lawyer that teaches them the law aspects. So, and those facilitators act as informal mentors to our members. So therefore, during the program, if they have any specific business questions that they are struggling with in that field, they are then able to access that person
So
under the program.
On your video, I saw something called incubators.
Yes.
What is that?
So that is the program that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes. That is the program that I'm talking about.
Lovely. And it's a year's course.
Yes.
Part-time? Or what? How
I would
does
consider it part-time because we have about 6 incubations throughout the year. Yeah, it's spaced out so that you have enough time to do your assignments and work on your marketing strategy, for instance, and then communicate with the mentor so that you are able to complete the task.
Did you have mentors?
I was just going to say it would have been phenomenal if, you know, during my time, which was many years ago, that I had access to that. But yes, I did have mentors. So there were people in the businesses that we engaged with, both my business partner and I, that sort of took us on. So I started this business when I was 26 years old, so it was a long time ago, and I really didn't know, you know, very much. I knew how to conduct myself, I think, in a professional manner, because there's sort of an unwritten law in terms of conduct. So I knew how to conduct myself, but there were people along the way who really did mentor myself and my business partner, especially in the area of logistics. So logistics, I mean, I'm essentially a trucker. I'm a woman who has trucks, you know. So
it's amazing.
It's wonderful.
There was a lot I didn't know. But what I did is that I thought if there are things that I am sort of not skilled at, I needed to build that skill through systems. And so through a lot of the work that we did, we engaged with systems that were able to help us deliver our promises to our clients. Some of those systems are scheduling systems or fuel optimization systems and those kind of things. And I think it's very important for women to also understand that you don't need to be the best at everything. You don't need to, you know, if you're not a good seller, surround yourself with support.
Association.
You know, if you're not good at accounting per se, correct. And so I think it's very important also to play to strengths.
Absolutely.
And understand what your strengths are and play to other strengths as well. And also, I think what is important is to make sure that you surround yourself with a diverse group of people, not necessarily only people that fit a certain mold. So I really believe there's strength in diversity. I do think also from my business perspective, we employ intergenerational people. So we employ young people and middle people and old people, because everybody brings a different aspect, as long as they obviously share the vision.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody brings a different aspect, and there's really strength in diversity.
Lovely.
That's
lovely.
amazing.
It's beautiful to hear. What were some of the challenges that you've experienced?
Okay, so that I realized that there can be 10 no's before I get a yes, and that I needed to self-start every single day. So every single day is a new start, and so those, that doubt was a challenge. That self-motivation is a challenge, because you really are needing to build and grow a very, very thick skin in order to keep on selling and keep on going. And there were quite a few setbacks along the way. Crime is, so from a macro perspective, crime is a very big challenge that lots of entrepreneurs, especially women, face. Your personal security is an issue. Because I have warehouses and we have trucks, I'm obviously in industrial areas, and there was a time where I was actually held up at my place of work. So those are the kind of challenges you have to be able to embrace almost and overcome, and I think also expect it. You've got to expect that you're going to be faced with those kind of macroeconomic and macro challenges from time to time.
Okay. So Fatima, just listening to that, if you have somebody that comes in with a beautiful business plan or vision that they want to, develop from there, and you having insight to some of the challenges that they may experience, how do you share that with them? How do you guide them through that process?
So normally it would depend on the specific challenge that they are facing, and I would then be able to direct them to a mentor that could answer that specific question, or we could pose it in our community group, and then anyone who has insight into that specific problem could assist them.
So you collaborate quite a bit.
Collaboration is one of our pillars. We completely and absolutely believe in collaboration, and it was one of our founding aspects that, as we spoke about in the beginning, that women don't really support other women, and so with starting FLC we wanted to foster community and collaboration and trust and friendship and tribe building by creating the First Lady Chamber.
Lovely. So now 7 years running, you've had people that have graduated,
Yes.
through that process. Do they come in, offer their expertise and their advice, or what is the follow through of that?
Yes, so it's been quite amazing with our group who's come through the first year program. They've wanted to stay on because they had such amazing personal growth, because what's been really inspiring is that they've also grown as women, as individuals, and become more confident in their businesses. And so our first years have come on to be mentors for our second year group.
Lovely. Yeah.
And that's really how you grow the network, and how you grow that collaborative thinking, as well. I think that key to successful leadership. So I'm operating at a higher level now, and I didn't always. I used to pack my own trucks and do my own deliveries and things like that. But as you grow and as you develop, you realize and understand how important collaborative management is as well. So even at high levels, you have to have an approach where you are listening well, and that you are constructively accepting feedback on how things can always be done better. And collaborative management, collaborative leadership is really key and the essence of ensuring that your business remains sustainable, and that your business is able to move into the next era.
Beautiful. You're talking about soft skills.
Yes.
Communication.
Yes.
Compassion. understanding.
Yes.
Patience.
Understand the other's needs
Yes.
before your needs are understood.
Yeah.
And then having the service-orientated approach, but also with a really, really true authenticity of being there for the others.
I think, you know, I think you have to present whatever, as an entrepreneur, you present what you sell, but it has to come from your heart, because people will see through it immediately if you don't. So if you're presenting something with honesty and passion, you will naturally attract that type of support, you know, as well.
So your co-founder is also female, right?
Yes.
Having two females in the leadership, do you find there's a big difference in your company compared to another company of the same standard?
So we are the only women in South Africa that operate in this area of business, in warehousing and distribution of point of sale material. So I think that I would never have been able to do it without her. So we have a sisterhood, and she's from a completely diverse background. She's a white female. She is not Muslim, and so we have had to really sort of nurture each other's strengths. But we have this honest and open and sisterhood that I was actually, when I look back on it now, I think to myself, gosh, we were really, really lucky to have found each other.
Yeah.
Was that by chance?
We both worked at Unilever, so not completely, not completely by chance. But I think that sisterhood and that togetherness really, it helps so much, you know, because I don't know if I were to do it alone.
Yes.
I mean, you also started my first lady.
Yes,
with
with
your
my sister. Yes, yes.
So it's like I started this business with my
Yes.
sister, just from another mother. I think that togetherness really, it really makes a difference to, you know, to give each other inspiration. And so if you can find someone who's like-minded, who shares the same work ethic as you, and that work ethic is also very important. We both early risers, as an example. We exercise a lot.
Sure.
We, you know, we have the same sort of growth mindset around what we would like to achieve. And if you can find someone like that and maintain an honest and open relationship with that person, and if you could do it together, I'd suggest you go.
Yes, yes.
And go forth and do it together.
Yes.
Have you had people coming in that are partners in a business, or have you only had single?
Mostly single females and family-run businesses. But there has been one or two women partnering together. Yeah.
And what are the successes? Give us one or two stories.
So I'm not sure if you know Khadija Khan. She was one of our. We would call them the OGs, the initial, our initial lot of a cohort of women. And soon after she did the FLC program, she opened up her space in KC. So there's been many women like that who's been able to leverage some of the collaborations within our FLC space, and even with our partners, our organizations that partner with us. And so, yeah, we've seen amazing successes with them.
And challenges, any fears that you've worked through or you're still working through in terms of how you're sharing that?
So I think, and for many women, I believe funding is a major issue. And also, in the beginning, we needed to create visibility and to build the network. And so it took time, and with us hosting events, we slowly, and that's how you need to also see your business. It's not going to be a overnight success. It needs to be built over time, and you need to have the patience to overcome the challenges that you face.
And now I'm sure with having so many women that have gone through your training program, there's a word of mouth.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
And
yes.
that brings about a lot more comfortability for someone.
For sure.
Yeah.
I actually found that in the last 25 years, it was more my reputation than more formal marketing that I put out into the space that carried us forward. And that reputation is so important. If you are promising to deliver something, make sure that you do.
Yes.
Deliver according to that deadline.
Absolutely.
It's simple, simple things. Be punctual for a meeting. It's really, really simple tricks that you can use as an entrepreneur in order to help your customer understand that you are serious
And
about
respecting
what you do.
them.
And
It's a
absolutely
human
respecting.
base.
Yes.
You know, it's a need.
And you're saying that, and we're talking about soft skills. If we look at the ethics that Islam teaches us and the example of the Prophet ﷺ, there's so many. It's like basically a guide.
Correct.
It's a guide, and if we
Emulate.
implement those skills, we can be successful.
Alhamdulillah. And I think that's it, it's about you as a person and you representing yourself as a female, as a Muslim, and then as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you go forward with that brings about the difference, and because it's you embodied all of this within yourself.
Yeah.
Any advice for our listeners out there who want to start, who have started and are struggling, who have questions and concerns? Anything that comes to the top of your mind in terms of advice?
I think don't be afraid to ask, Don't be afraid to ask, because you just never know. You just never know who out there is going to be able to help you. I mean, have an open heart about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, be open. I think practically also, if you have an idea and you understand the gap in the market or the service you would like to fulfill, you have to spend time visualizing your end customer, and you almost have to write down what that person, what your ideal customer, socioeconomic values are, what their social values will be, and be very clear in terms of what that customer looks like. The customer doesn't look like you.
Yeah, that's something we teach in our marketing. Yeah.
And that's very important to visualize that, and understand also that this really is a slow burn. Your success is not going to come. It's not going to come overnight. I was listening to your story about funding, and one of the sort of values that I've always sort of attributed or listened to very, very clearly is what our accountant always told us. So our accountant says turnover is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash flow is reality.
Yeah.
And one of the key things I would advise entrepreneurs is, as far as possible, try and keep your overheads low. Funding is a challenge, but that doesn't mean that you need to go and take out loans.
Yes. Yes.
You have family members.
Yes.
If they believe in you, they will support you. But also there are lots of corporates who have very, very clear social development programs that they basically need to spend. They have to spend 1% of their net profit after tax on supplier development and socioeconomic development and programs for startups. So there definitely are avenues where you can tap into funding without necessarily getting into debt.
Yes.
And if I could give you any advice, is stay
Debt.
as far away
From debt.
from debt.
Yes.
And that again is an Islamic principle.
Absolutely.
So we're coming back to the basics of things.
Absolutely.
Not alhamdulillah for that. So are we going to be wrapping up soon? Who wants to share just some words of wisdom, anything that you think you haven't mentioned that you probably prepared and you wanted to highlight? Please just feel free to.
I think that as women, we don't always believe in ourselves. So I look at the difference between my son and my daughter. My son absolutely believes he will be a professional soccer player one day. But my daughter doubts whether she will be able to. She wants to be an environmental and geographical scientist, and she's got this doubt, and she holds herself back. And I think that as women, if we are able to just believe in ourselves, if we are able to appeal to Allah every day and keep Allah as part of our consciousness in terms of the vision that we would like to fulfill as women, as mothers, as wives, as business women, we will be able to achieve whatever our goals, whatever preconceived ideas we have of success. And it's easier said than done, I think, as women, to say, just believe in yourself.
It definitely,
But it's something that you can work on, and you can talk to yourself in the mirror if you have to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You should be taking an active role in doing the inner work.
Yes.
Yeah. An active role in doing the inner work, because it's important to be a confident businesswoman. Otherwise, people, if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect others to?
Exactly. And we all have children, and we want to be able to have them be confident within themselves.
Absolutely.
To be able to just, stand up, stand tall to whatever society, community has to offer in terms of uplifting them, or sometimes, putting a little spoke in things. And I think that's important for us as women, to show our daughters and our sons that there is room for us, there's room to flourish, there's room to grow. And women empowerment is not about being a feminist.
No.
It's about being a human being
Correct.
and empowering yourself.
And it's about encouraging. So encourage other women. When you engage with them and you listen to them and you hear what they have to say, encourage them. Don't say, oh, but I'm not sure about that. Or say, let's try this. If you haven't tried this avenue, try that avenue. We need to be encouraging with our daughters, and we need to be encouraging with other women.
And also help them understand and allow them to make mistakes.
Yes,
because failing is failing forward.
Yes,
You
you
know,
learn.
Failing is failing forward.
If you can learn from your mistake, then you didn't lose.
Exactly. And then again, like we tapped into earlier on, ask.
Yes.
If you're not sure, ask somebody else, get some support, get some guide, and then, it's okay to say, well, I've made a mistake. We, took the wrong path. We're just going to take a step back, have a pause for a while, and then this advice has come in, and that's something that seems to be more beneficial and will come for us.
I'll also say be willing to learn. Be open to learning, because you may not know everything, but your mind is quite a powerful tool to employ.
I mean, as an entrepreneur, there's some things you have to have. You have to have discipline. You have to have self-belief. You have to know how to start over again and again and again. And you have to be curious. You have to have quite a curious mind. And that, I think, leads on to to what you were saying in terms of being open to new ideas, new ways of learning, new ways of doing things. And curiosity will also carry you a long way in terms of your success as an entrepreneur.
And also, when you're talking about you have to wake up early. You have to know that you're sleeping late. You have to pack the trucks. You have to make the tea in order to know the full process. Because it's not just about being at the top and dictating or managing or directing people. It's about understanding the entire process. But that's where the passion comes in. That's where you can say, Shafika, it's about my people.
Yes. And that's good leadership skills.
Absolutely,
And
when they have that internal happiness, then the entire system
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I have made mistakes as a leader as well, I'm not every decision that I take has been the right one. But as long as I'm taking those decisions with the support of my team.
But also to admit that you've made a mistake and that you're learning along the way. It shows to your people that you're human, and as long as you hold space for empathy and...
Just on that note, how do you deal with ladies that come in and have had a business for a while, and then hearing all the information that they are learning from your side? Figuring out, oh my gosh.
It's too much.
It's too much. I haven't done this. I've done it X, Y, and Z, but I should have looked at A, B, and C.
So the fact of the matter is you can't always please everybody. And so if you aren't able to join the program, we always encourage them to join our networking events, because we also have public speakers in that space that will teach, because all our events are, you need to walk away with something.
Okay.
And so if they're not ready for us, we wait. We will wait for you. We will wait for you to be ready.
It's like popping it into the microwave, and after 30 seconds, it's not done. You pop it in
Yes,
again, it's
exactly.
not again, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is an incubator.
Yes.
There you go. Lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, I think that are you all happy with what you've shared? I think it's been amazing.
Thank
I'm
you
sure
so
our
much,
viewers
Shahana, for
also,
having
you know.
us.
You've both inspired me, and I'm sure you've inspired our viewers.
Thank you.
Knowing now, when I look at the Lindt chocolate, when I look at someone,
Yes, we'll think of
I would
you.
know that Pop Warehouse has been, you know, instrumental in making that happen, so that us, the consumers, can enjoy the smooth, creamy feeling of it. But also just looking at people who have started their business, females who have started their business, knowing that there's a particular path to follow, and First Ladies Chamber is an avenue for them to tap into, to be able to get the resources, to be able to understand, to be inspired, to be motivated, and to have that sisterhood,
Yes,
the bond,
absolutely.
because really that is encouraging for women out there, women who are starting on their own, and it's daunting.
It's very daunting.
It's very, very nerve-wracking at sometimes, and we need to look into that, you know. Yeah.
And it sounds like First Ladies Chamber is the place to be, so that you're not alone.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be alone.
You don't have to be alone. You don't have to be alone. We're here for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, come join our crowd.
So thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate your time and your expertise and just sharing of yourselves. You've presented yourself, not just your businesses. You've
Yeah.
presented yourselves,
Thank you.
and that's been an honor. We really
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
Thank you
much.
for the opportunity.
And thank you for tuning in to the Academia Library Ladies Terrace program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.